Hey, Greenhorns, Grizzly Joe here at the top of the show. I am not on this podcast, I am sad to say, but I'm happy to say I have a new baby girl, and you'll hear about that on Hamish's School of Hard Knocks. But I wanted to let you Greenhorns know we have a Patreon now. That's right. You can finally, monetarily, support the show. You can find us at patreon.com/Road to Wrestling School. We also have a YouTube channel now. You can find us youtube.com/Road to Wrestling School. You see a theme there? Well, find us on YouTube, Road to Wrestling School. We're going to put up all the podcasts there. We're also going to put up some videos for you to see and all kinds of neat little stuff we got planned. Hey, I'll see you when I get back, down the road and in the ring.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Good evening, Greenhorns, and welcome to the Road to Wrestling School, the HOV to the HOP. HOP standing for the Superior Pro Wrestling Training Center in downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. I am Hamish Stewart. Beside me is nobody. This will be the first in probably a series of Hamish's Hard Knocks, or Hard Knocks Hamish series here. Grizz, as you may or may not know, his wife was expecting, and a beautiful baby girl should be born anytime now. And actually, beautiful baby girl will have been born by the time you hear this podcast. So congratulations to my tag team partner Grizz and his lovely wife. And I will kayfabe her name so that if anytime anybody ever tries to locate her, you will not be able to find her. But I can only hope that by the time this podcast comes out, she is recuperating well, and Grizz and her are finding their sleep cycle. As you may or may not know, it's very difficult with a newborn baby, especially if you have multiples around the house, and that can be a problem. So kudos to you, Grizz. Hopefully that beautiful bouncing baby girl is making your life wonderful, and making your lovely wife wonderful as well, and bringing up the entire family there. So it's just going to be me for quite a little bit here. I'm going to try to keep it as entertaining as possible without my tag team partner Grizz. Without somebody to play off of, this will be more of a monologue. But I've got a few topics that I hope will help enlighten everybody as we go along the road to wrestling school. I am literally in the car on my way to the wrestling school, the Superior Pro Wrestling Training Center in downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. Our illustrious trainer, John Rambo, is going to be there, as well as Robbie Page, Tommy Seto, Bo, and I think Double A Ron will be there, hopefully tonight, rounding out the training crew. This brings me up to first what Grizz would ask. How you doing, Hamish? I'm doing well. Today, fell off the wagon a little bit. Had a bit of a stumble today and wasn't all that happy. So I went and just kind of threw my nutrition plan out the window and ate to fill a hole inside of myself, which was there because of some just unfortunate happenings that happened during the day. Normally this doesn't affect me, and I normally don't fill that hole with food, but today, goddamn, I just had to. And I didn't have to, I chose to, and that's alright. It's okay if you choose to do that every once in a while, as long as you make it your choice. Don't let your willpower buckle. You choose when you want to make those cheat days, or whatever you want to call them. My personal philosophy is there is no cheat day. You only choose to stray from your nutrition plan one meal at a time, or one meal per whatever your planned day is to get off of your nutrition plan, or eat kind of outside of the bounds of it. I typically try to work in all my cheat stuff, or whatever people call cheat stuff, but boy howdy, today I didn't. At lunchtime, I let her rip, and woof, let me tell you, that was kind of reminiscent of the old days. I used to be pretty heavy, and everybody loves to eat, so it's the last legal drug on the planet. So I let her rip at one of our favorite restaurants. Big fan of the Mexican food, or South American or Tex-Mex, whatever you want to call it. And I let them know it. So hopefully that doesn't translate in the ring tonight to gaseous explosions, which sadly happened last week when poor Willie Radicals rolled me up for a pin. Boy, I had a protein explosion there, and I felt bad. I kicked out at 2. I think Willie would have wanted me to kick out at 1 at that point, but sadly we had been given go home cue, and he was lighting us up with drop kicks, and then he rolled me up, and when he folded me over, something else kind of popped out. I'm glad I didn't poop my pants in the ring, because that would have been something nobody would have let me down or let that go. But luckily I didn't, and it was just a big massive fart. So my apologies to Willie Radical there, but I guess those things happen. Better than crapping your pants in the ring. So topic number 1 tonight is setting up matches on the fly. Topic 2 will be, let's switch. Topic 1 will be, what do you do if you are tagging with somebody, or you have a partner that you go to training with, and just like Grizz, life happens, and he can't be there. That's okay, Greenhorns. That's all right, everybody. What you got to do first is remember, even if you're going as a tag team, there are plenty of things that you can do to burnish your skills while you're there without your tag team partner. Remember, you're a team. You're not 2 singles dudes who got thrown together, or 2 singles ladies that got thrown together. You're a team. There should be a reason why you 2 guys tag together. Grizz is a lot bigger, a lot more stout than I am. I'm taller than he is, but he's more stout and is a more commanding presence in the ring. He also has quite a distinct look to him when it comes to ring presence. He looks like he's a grizzly bear. Kind of just, that's what he looks like. So he's got that side of the team down. He's got the brawler, the Bruiser Brody movement, the Bruiser Brody moveset, the kick and punch. I've got to be the technical one, and I've got to be the thinker, and I've got to be the one who outsmarts or comes up with interesting ways to look flashy and to do things. And that's my goal for the next few weeks while Grizz is out doing what he's supposed to do as a dad and as a father. Take care of his family, take care of his wife, do what he needs to do to make the home a home for a newborn baby. But during that time, I'll be taking it out on trainees, and anybody will get in the ring with me, chain wrestling until my brain falls out, because that's one thing that is like algebra to me. I'm slightly getting better and better every time you do it. I mean, anytime you do something, anytime you practice, you get better at things. And remember, it's not just practice makes perfect, it's perfect practice makes perfect. You can throw a football the wrong way 100 times. That doesn't mean the 100th time it's going to get better. No, you're still throwing it the wrong way. And that's the good part about being at a reputable training center like at the House of Pain. You got a trainer there, John Rambo, who will watch you, let you know what you're doing wrong, and get you to practice it accordingly, what you need to do and how you need to do it right. Perfect practice. There's nothing, he preaches this one thing that is key, and you can see it as you get further and progress in. The way that you practice something, the way that you do it in the training center is the way you're going to do it on the road or in the ring in front of people. That's just the way it's going to happen. Your body, muscle learns things, and memory learns things through muscle in the way that it does things in repetitive motion, especially things that are muscle memory, physical things. Your muscles remember that. That's why it's also good to switch up your workout plan every 6 to 8 weeks. Once your muscles and your body starts getting used to, here we go, it's time to bench press. Now we're going to ladder. Now we're going to flies. Here comes the standing rows. Now you got to switch it up. because your body gets used to it. It takes a while for your body to get used to, especially the workout thing. So don't think you got to switch it up every week. Or I've seen some training plans where people are like, well, this week, I'm doing 6 to 8 reps, and the next week it's 1 to 3, and then this week it's 15 to 20, and that you don't got to do it. You can be crazy like that. Let's just kind of be realistic. But yeah, so back to where you're at. So muscle memory, and it's learned muscle skill. So the way that you practice and the way that you train is the way it's going to come out in a show. Don't think you're going to get in front of a crowd and go, man, I'm going to turn it on. Here we go. That might happen when you're a 5-year vet, a 10-year vet. After you've been in the ring, you've more ring time than you do training time, more show time than you do training time. Sure, that might happen. But until then, you're going to have so many nervous butterflies. There's going to be so much stuff you're going to be thinking about. You're going to be matched up against people that you don't know what's going on. You're going to be so nervous that your body's just going to default. That's what it does. It defaults back into what you've practiced. And it goes for everything. If you practice how you practice conversing with people, how you practice anything, you default back into that practice mode. So remember, perfect practice makes perfect. And then Mr. Perfect makes perfect practice. Then you spit your gum out and swat it out of the air with your hand, and then you peacock around and look like a badass. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Mr. Perfect was the only person that could do that. So short side note, in 2001, when I went to training for the first time, I went with another guy who we both loved Mr. Perfect. I still love Mr. Perfect and the perfect gimmick. I mean, such a great gimmick. The name, you don't need anything else. You don't need any explanation. Same thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, the guy's just a badass. All right, cool, I got you. Mr. Perfect. Oh, the dude's perfect. Okay, cool. So great. Man, we wanted to be a tag team so bad, and we wanted to be called the Perfect Pair. We wanted to be Mr. Perfect's nephews, and ride off on that gimmick, and then have a valet or a lady manager come walk us down to the ring, and she would have a t-shirt on that says the Perfect Pair on top of, hopefully she'd have pretty decent tatas. So then, it's kind of a double whammy. They're double entendre. Haha, she's got the perfect pair. I've got the perfect pair as a manager. Whatever. You get it. So anyway, regardless of that, I was never Perry Perfect and he was never Pete Perfect. We weren't the perfect pair. But boy, howdy did we have a great gimmick. It was great. Sadly, it never lasted. Regardless of that, perfect practice makes perfect. So I'm going to go up in there. I'm a tag team. I had to burnish my skills because I'll put Grizz over a bit here. He's pretty good. I hate to say it, and I wouldn't say it to his face, but Grizz is a pretty good tag team partner. I'm lucky that I have him on my team. He's got a real good head on his shoulders. He's got a decent eye for matches. He's got a decent eye for psychology, especially, us in our early kind of time here. Psychology is kind of a difficult thing for new guys to wrap their heads around. And from what I've heard from all the vets and everybody who's done this for a long time, as soon as you get psychology, it becomes a whole lot easier, and it becomes a lot more fun to put these things together instead of kind of flying by the seat of your pants and kind of running things. But regardless of that, Grizz has got a good eye on it, a good head on his shoulders for that. I pop in every once in a while when needed, when I can do my thing and make the added necessary drop-ins to change the matchup. Great, we got that, and we know how to listen. We know how to learn. But Grizz, because of his moveset, doesn't necessarily need to be technical. He needs ring presence, and he needs grounding himself, making himself look bigger. There's stuff he needs to do, sure, and the things I just went over. He needs to make himself bigger. He needs to sort of do that Rusev shout before he gives a big clothesline. He needs to ground himself more, and he needs to cut off the opponent and cut off his people with some more powerful moves. And he's getting it. We're working through it. That's what he needs to do. I need to be quick, I need to be agile, and I need to work neat, flashy transitional stuff, and neat, flashy moves, and neat, crisp stuff so that it looks like we're two guys. We obviously have the same kilts, we have the same tartans on, so we're, people go, oh, we're from the same clan, same family, whatever you want to call it. So we got that going for us, and we got a different, we're definitely different guys. He sort of grumbles and mumbles and jumbles, and I'm more of the flashier kind of face talker, and I've got a little cudgel with me, so, kind of shows that I need a little extra muscle behind me, while Grizz got what he's got. So, yeah, so there's that. So, when your tag team partner, your people are not with you, your stable's not with you, find what you need to work on to increase the marketability or the gimmick or the look of your team, and work on that if you can. That is crucial. If you can make sure that you are keeping your end of the bargain up, that's a good bit of business. Remember, this is a business. You're trying to differentiate yourselves from other tag teams out there. You don't want to, or other teams or other wrestlers out there. With that being said, remember, you're also a singles wrestler. So while Grizz is out, I'm going to take this time to also burnish my singles wrestling ability and work to put myself over as a decent singles wrestler. When I first started wrestling in 2001, when I first started training, I should say, the trainer at where I was at said, you'll never be a good tag team wrestler if you're not a good singles wrestler. And that is critical. Tag wrestling is a different animal than singles wrestling. It looks easier, believe me. You sit there and you think, oh, that's neat. Okay, I tag in. Okay, I do my thing for 2 or 3 minutes, tag out, let my guy do his thing. I tag in, I tag out, tag back in. I only did 3 or 4 moves. Okay, great. I don't need to worry too much about that. And then then we go take it home. Then we go home. No, it is not that easy. And the formula, and this will dovetail into my other topic, setting up matches, which Grizz and I hit a milestone the other day, and I think it's worth repeating and definitely worth listening to if you're a trainee and if you want to hear some of the inner workings of how this goes. Definitely worth listening to. So, singles wrestling and every match has a very, very systemic formula that you should follow. Audience likes it. Normally, you can look at this as well in Super Bowl and regular sports. It's good guys make it look like they're good, like they can win. It's called the shine. Bad guys take over somehow. It's called the heat. There's a comeback from the good guy, and then you go to the finish. Finishes whoever goes over, whoever's going to win. Shine, heat, comeback, finish. There are a million different combinations you can do in there, and a million different ways you can run that. You can put in false finishes throughout. You can let the face or anybody get some hope spots where it shows that they got some fire in it. They're going to come back. All right, here we go. Oh, get cut back off again, and we're dropped back into the heat. There's a million different things you can do. So as a singles wrestler, I have to burnish my ability to work both sides of that coin, to be the face and have that good shine moment in the beginning where you show the audience that in any situation, if you were dropped into a fair fight, the face should win every day and twice on Sunday. Face should be beating that heel every single day and twice on Sunday. And he's got to be strong about it. He's got to show that. I've got to show to the audience, I've got to show to people who are watching me that my ability to do flashy, technical, and tight moves, tight move set, tight chain wrestling, tight, keeping up with the heel, I've got to show that I can do that. And if I can't, then I'm not going to look like a credible face. And your faces don't look credible if they don't show up in that shine bit. They got to shine. And your heels, oh man, you got to get thrown, you got to get tossed on your head during that shine bit. However you work out that shine, you got to You got to let that face shine all over you. Make him look good. Then the transition to the heat. There's several ways to transition to the heat. I typically not like to make my match out all together. I like to just kind of stick to just the transition. So if we're working a singles match, I like to just go, okay, well, you start out. We'll talk a few things over, how you want to shine up, okay, whatever, how you want to start. And then, I'll transition with an eye rake. That'll be the transition. I'll take over during the heat. The fire up will be, after I whip you off the ropes, and we duck two, and then, we'll go to a double down, and then whatever the finish is, whatever the booker wants to finish. Okay, so simple enough. And then we go out there, and then during the heat, now we pop back into the heat there, as the heel, your job numero uno should be to isolate a body part, and that body part should correspond to your move set, or what your finish move is. I have my finish move currently is a submission, which I love submissions, as you may have known from listening to the podcast. And it's called the Celtic Knot, where I got somebody in a double underhook. I step behind their back legs, drape them across my knee, let them kind of bridge backwards, and then tighten up those arms and start stretching them across there. I can then also release one of the arms and put on sort of like a half Nelson choke, or a little rear naked front choke while I'm doing it, which makes it look a little better. So I'd want the moves that or the body parts that I'm working to go up to that. I want to work arms. I'd want to work maybe back, maybe neck, but you want to have your moves, your move set, work into that. You don't want, I don't want to be working somebody's leg the whole time and then plop into a rear naked stretch or some sort of choke. No, it doesn't make any sense. Why would me as a guy be doing that? That's the same thing that, why is Ronda Rousey, and this is the thing about Ronda Rousey, I'm going to kind of go off on a quick tangent here. Ronda Rousey is a goddamn judo champion. She was a judo champion in the Olympics, man. What? Why does she keep trying to strike with these championship strikers? Why does she keep trying to go toe-to-toe with kickboxers? That's crazy talk, man. That is nuts. I know she wants to she was a women's champ in the UFC for a long, long time, and she's an ass kicker, no doubt about it. Even as a dude who outweighs her by probably a solid 40 or 50 pounds, I wouldn't want to get in the ring with her. No, sir, no way, because she'd still kick my ass, probably. Unless I got lucky, or unless she thought, well, I'm just going to strike with this dude, and I got a few lucky shots in. I know I got a little reach on her, but why is she not shooting in, tackling her opponent, and going for that goddamn armbar? The girl is just, I don't know what the hell, who's been advising her, but Jesus Christ. You won your first 14 fights and retained your title 3 or 4 times on just tearing people's arm up. But she broke one girl's arm. I think she broke it. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe somebody broke somebody's arm. Regardless of that, what the hell is she doing? Why are you trying to go toe-to-toe with these girls that are badass kickboxers? No. You do your thing. You do you, boo. So, right? That probably kind of felt weird. That almost probably like if I said, toe up from the flow up. That I once said that on the Metro, and 2 black dudes turned around and looked at me, and I was like, what? A white dude could say that? And this was back, I think, pre-Obama as president. So, still kind of everybody was like, what's this white dude doing? Anyway, regardless of that, so I shouldn't be working some dude's leg unless the dude is huge and I'm trying to beat him down, right? Also, so during that face, if I'm working face, then you got to make sure that heat looks vicious and you're opening up for the heel to do a bunch of other stuff to you. You should also know your opponent enough, or your opponent should give you a little cue about what he's good at, that you should be trying to feed up into that. Try to give him something that'll help his moveset, help put him over as a heel. Because the stronger the heel looks, the better you look as a face when you come back. You got a weak, ineffective heel. Who the hell cares that you're coming back? You should come back. You should be winning. The heel's got to look like he can win. And he's got to look like he can win for a reason. Like, there's got to be some reason he can win. That's where the psychology bit is built off of. Oh, the tattoo parlor's open. Well, I go there and get my tattoo on the way up there. I don't know what I get. I don't have tattoos. I'm not a tattoo guy. I don't have a problem with tattoos. Like, my family's got tattoos. I know people with tattoos. Everybody's tattooed up. Especially wrestlers, man. They have tats everywhere. But I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just not a tattoo dude. Maybe one day. Maybe something will happen. I just want to get tattooed. But that day is not today. Okay, so then the fire up. Again, the comeback. This is when the face got to look. You got to draw that crowd in. Bah, you've been beaten down. It's time. Here it comes. By God, I've had enough of this, and I've got to learn how to either do that as a face and really get the crowd behind me as Hamish. I got to get the crowd to be behind me and to really want me to win. And I think as a face, so we've been working a lot of heel stuff, and we've been pretty effective as the heels. I can be more weaselly. It definitely can. Every time I get in the ring, I learn more and more. And every time I get in the ring, I want to be in the ring more. There's nothing more intoxicating than getting in the ring. I just want to be in the ring more and more. Every time I get there, I just want to. Every time I wrestle, I'm like, man, I think it's time to go back and wrestle again. Man, I wish I could wrestle again tomorrow. Man, I wish I could wrestle this weekend. Man, I wish I had time to wrestle now. I wish we should have more time to do it, because every time you get in there, you got to keep your eyes open and your ears open, and you got to, listen to the right side and feel it inside of you. We did a match against the Radical Stars again, where we didn't have very much time. Boom, boom, boom. We were able to kind of put it together, follow the formula. We didn't isolate a body part as heels while we were doing our heat. Big mistake on our part. Now, the match looked all right, and I think we kind of Forrest Gumped our way into working the back. Okay, great, whatevs. But it didn't look like we were trying to work the back, that we were isolating the back. We weren't taking our time. That's the next thing, Greenhorns, that, your first thing is you're going to get in there and be like, I just thought this was a bunch of moves. I thought I'd give 3 suplexes, 2 body slams, an elbow drop, and that'd be it. Okay, game over. That's what wrestling is. No. But after you get past that mentality, you got to remember, you got to start slowing down, making things deliberate, making it, why are you doing it? Measuring your opponent, doing what you got to do for it to make those strikes count. Why are you booting this person's back all the time? Is it because you suck and you can't do anything else? Maybe. Sure. That might be a thing. And that's something that, if we're working the back, because our team finish move, our team finish was kind of like this giant splash, which is, it's the tits. You'll have to see it one day. You definitely have to come. By the way, I'm in beautiful downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. I'm going to tap out here. I'll get back into this probably next week. Maybe, who knows, on the way down, maybe on the way back, maybe I'll record another one, finish this up. Who knows? But, so rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, anywhere. If you're listening to this, obviously you found us somewhere, so thanks. Send us an email. I don't know what the email address is, but you can find it. I'm sure it's somewhere. It's probably roadtowrestlingschool@gmail.com or something like that. Gmail is probably a pretty safe thing. And find us on Facebook, Road Wrestling School at Facebook.com, or however you find us on Facebook. I'm not all literate about that. You can watch the Grimy Scots in action April 1st. Hopefully this comes out pre-April 1st. If not, we have already been in action and have won the World Championship titles from the WWE from the Usos, or whoever the hell the WWE champions are at this point. And we're being scouted for Ring of Honor plus TNA, and we're probably going to Japan. So all those things probably happened during the time while this thing was sitting on the shelf waiting to be put out, while Grizz was bleary-eyed helping his wife feed their children and feed this new baby. So anyway, Greenhorns, you keep the faith. We'll see you down the road and in the ring. Best podcast ever. Top that one, Chris. That ending sounds good. I like that.